Hey everybody, Paul here. I want to go through a quick example about how to solve for r when it is inside of one of these exponential interest equations. So here we have the equation 30,375 is equal to 6,000 times 1 plus r to the power of 4. The whole idea of this is that we are solving, and we know that when we solve, we are using inverse operations. So there's a multiplication here, there's an addition here, and there's a to the power of, right? There's like a hidden to the power of 4 in this, and we have to undo all of those. And over here, I have our steps of operations, which help us when we're trying to solve because we know the order to work in, and we know that all of the operations are paired with their inverses. So to undo this multiplication, we're going to have to use division. To undo this power, we're going to have to use a root. And to undo this addition, we're going to have to use subtraction. And we work from the outside in and we work outside of the parentheses first. So we're going to start by undoing this multiplication. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. So we are going to divide both sides by 6,000. Now, on the right side, these cancel out. That's the whole idea of inverse operations, is that when you have times 6,000 and divide by 6,000, they cancel out. So those just literally cancel out and they're gone. And then we have to figure out what this left side is going to be equal to. And I'm going to use my computer calculator, which is pretty straightforward. So that's 3,375 divided by 6,000. Divided by 6,000. This is a lot like what your cell phone calculator is, 5.0625. So we end up with the following. We end up with 5.0625 is equal to 1 plus r to the power of 4. So our multiplication is gone. Now we have to think about canceling out this to the power of 4, right? And the key thing is that the inverse of powering is rooting. And because it's the fourth power, and this is a little bit weird, we're going to take the fourth root. We're not going to take the square root because that's the second root. We're going to take the fourth root. So we're saying what number, if you multiply it by itself 4 times, equals 5.0625. And again, we're going to use the calculator for that. So I have my 5.6025 here. I'm going to hit the second button, and notice when I hit the second button, it brings up, instead of having this thing right here, x to the power y, it brings up the y root of x. So I'm going to type in that and type in 4. And that gives us the fourth root of 5.0625, and it's 1.5. So what that means is that we end up with these cancel out, right? This fourth root and fourth power cancel out, and we end up with 1.5 is equal to 1 plus r. Well, this is now relatively easy. We have to cancel out adding 1. We subtract 1 from both sides, right? And that gives us the following. It gives us 0.5 is equal to r, which is our answer. Now, that was a good bit of work. I don't want to make a mistake along the way and not know it, so I'm going to check our answer. So we go back to the original equation, right? The absolute original equation here. Make sure we can see exactly what it is. And we plug in our value for r and we see what we get. So we do 6,000 times 1 plus 0.5 to the power 4, and the hope is that this equals 30,375. So let's go to the calculator real quick. 6,000 times 1 plus 0.5 to the power of 4. And there we go. We got 30,375. And we know, in fact, that if you get 30,375 equals 30,375, we put a big check there. We say boosh because we know we got it. And we have our answer. R is equal to 0.5. You take 0.5 and you will type 0.5 in for your answer for the problem. And that's it. And that's all it is. It's using inverse operations. It's using the steps of operations. And it's just solving for that. So again, if you have questions about this, reach out to me or Caitlin, and we will help you. But it's just using inverse operations. And the only really tricky one is this idea of using the root to undo a power. Okay? Hope that made sense. If not, my bad. See you guys soon. Bye.